What a venue. Joining us back on the penultimate episode of this year's series with Gemini Carp Tackle, and we're on one of the RH Fisheries waters, the Sitch. It's a syndicate water, but they have got a bookable peg on the venue, which is called the Holiday Swim, where we're situated this session. It is an absolutely beautiful water. You've got really tall fir trees, nice gravelled out peg, and in that lake behind me there are a hell of a lot of 40-pound fish to go at, including one that's over 50 pounds. So we're just about to decide between us which side of the swim we're going to have, and then we're going to get set up. I cannot wait to get going on this venue. Pete's been kind enough, as being as he had that 48-pounder at Coking Farm, to let me decide which side of the swim I want to fish. So I've opted for the right-hand side. I think you get a little bit more water, and I do think that the Fishes Patrol path will probably be more dominated over that side. So hopefully I've made the right decision, but with the form that Pete's on at the minute, I don't think it really matters where you put him.
Just about to have a little bit of a lead about in the bay. We have got the wind coming in here, so I don't want to do too many casts to disturb the area. However, I just want to make sure the bottom where we are going to be putting baits is snag-free and presentable. Just for when you're in bed at night and you want that confidence that where your rig is, that it's fishing. So in this episode, the theme is back to bags and booms. We're all set up now and ready to start fishing. I've opted to start this session with 2 solid bags, which are just in front of me. But tomorrow I will be changing up the tactics, and I will have 1 bag and 1 boom. Just going to try different tactics to see if we can get any fish on the bank. Fingers crossed we do, because the stock here is absolutely incredible.
The Holiday Swim on the Sitch Syndicate is located in a really quiet bay on the one side of the lake. And we was told before we got here that a southwesterly wind blows directly into here. And as luck would have it, we've turned up this morning and there's a really strong southwesterly blowing down. So conditions are right for it. It's been fishing really well. There's been a couple of fish come out of here over the last week or so. So hopefully there's every chance that we can get another 40-pounder on the bank before this year's out.
I'm just about to get the first rod out. However, I just thought I'd run you through a few rules here at RH Fisheries that you need to abide by when you are fishing at RH waters. You can only use their bait as free offerings out in the lake. However, you can use your own hook bait. And also, when you fish the Sitch, the Holiday Swim, you are allowed to use a bait boat, which we are taking full advantage of. So in my first solid bag that's going out as the RH Fisheries micro pellet, and down the business end as a Parker Baits Magic Beam wafter in the colour pink. So with the first bolt that's going out, again, the RH Fisheries pellet. And then some free offerings. I'm going to go with a mix of 18mm and 14mm.
Like we said earlier, we are in a bit of a bay, so I think any way that we can try and stay incognito, slack lines, it's going to be really helpful to us to not sort of pen ourselves in and stop the fish from, or spook the fish off coming through here, because I think it's around 2 to 3 foot in here, from what we've been told.
About 3, I'd say.
So that's even more reason in my eyes to try and stay as quiet, incognito and stealthy as we possibly can.
What are you doing?
Set the tripod up.
And that for weighing fish?
Yeah. Confidence breeds confidence, mate. Confidence, mental attitude.
Confidence, mental attitude?
Yeah, you'll get the success.
Well, I'm going to stick with that this session.
Get it all set up, ready, scales on it, zeroed. Come on the fish. I've already had a little bit of a win this session because I thought I left my scales at Baden Hall. on that video, and I found them yesterday, so ready to go.
Both my rods I've gone 18 wraps, just so I know when I keep getting the bait boat out, I know I'm going to be in the area where I've been dropping the rest of the bait, so I know I'm in the area rather than having different patches everywhere. The reason why I've gone 18 wraps is we spoke to a few people who fish this lake and know of this peg, and about 18 wraps there used to be a marker to the boundary for this swim, so I believe people would have aimed for that with bait, so fish will be regular visitors. So that's my starting tactics, but if I see a fish show over that side, I will move over to that side. But yeah, that's how I'm starting this session. Liam's just in his BVs, just sorting out his rigs, and shortly we'll be putting his rods out and we'll run you through on the tactics Liam's using on that side of the peg. But overall, yeah, I'm happy where we are. It's beautiful surroundings and I'm really looking forward to the next few days.
So I'm just taking a moment now to tie up a couple of solid bags for tonight. I'm going to follow Pete's suit, and just for tonight I'm going to fish the 2 solid bags, something that we're super confident in. And then tomorrow I'm going to do the same again, and I'm going to swap one over onto a boom of some sort. But yeah, for now, get these 2 solid bags tied up using something a little bit new to the Gemini line, but again, I'll go into more detail what that is tomorrow. Right, and so this is my first rod going out. Solid bag, just about a quarter of a way up the reed line over there. We have saw a couple of fish show, but there was one show just a little bit further up the tree line, but I don't really want to go any further up because it'll be interrupting Pete's water. But same as Pete, I'm going to drop this and then I'm going to go really slack with my line, and hopefully that'll stop any interference and it won't put the fish off getting into this bay, because the wind is absolutely hacking into here now. Mixture of boilies, 14s and 18s, different flavours. Crush some whole. Rod number 2 then, just going out to a small cutting in the bank on the far side. A couple of trees that look like they're falling into the water. Like I say, there's a bit of a cove which looks like a real haven for a carp. So that'll be it for the first 2 rods for this evening, and to be honest, most of tomorrow as well. I probably won't touch these again now until tomorrow evening, unless we're lucky enough to pick something up. Confidence levels are up. I'm fairly confident, so hopefully we'll be able to bring you a fish or 2. Pete's forgot the burgers, so for the thousands of you that tune in just to watch Bankside burgers, because I know there is thousands of you, it won't be happening this session because Pete forgot the burgers.
My planning on that was, there's a Red Lion pub down the road, and I thought, you know, worth testing their burgers, so I thought I'd get them fresh tomorrow.
He's selling you the dream. He forgot. But anyway, like Pete said, we're going to pull the chairs up now, finish these, watch the water for a couple of hours, and hopefully one of them rods burst into life.
Good luck, mate.
Good luck, brother. Hopefully it's my turn for a 40 this session.
I might really hope you get one.
It'd be nice
to end the series with a couple of 40s.
Definitely.
We're at the right place.
Sit there knowing we've got 3 days ahead of us.
Oh yeah, especially in this setting.
Lovely.
The fact that I know I've got 3 days here just on the bank, this atmosphere is just, oh, what a feeling. 4:15, and we're going into the first evening. For some reason, towards the end of the day, the sun has just literally decided to make an appearance, which, you know, just glaring over the lake has just made it more beautiful. But yeah, going into this evening, how confident are you feeling?
We've said it multiple times, haven't we? You can't really be confident until you've got the fish on the bank, especially on a new venue. But we saw a couple of fish. The wind's been hacking into here all day, so...
Started to calm down now, ain't it?
I think I'm as confident as I can be. But yeah, episode 7 of 8 already.
Yes, one more after this one.
The year has absolutely flew by. And the hunt for a UK 40.
Managed to complete that in what, 5 episodes?
You managed to obliterate it. Hunt a UK 40, you almost hunted a UK 50.
Yeah, and there's a fish in here over the £50 mark.
It is the magic £50 barrier, so.
I think if I caught that one this session, I think I'd probably retire at the end of the year.
I mean, to be honest, the run you've been on so far this year, it's been nothing short of ridiculous. So I wouldn't put it past you. I would not put it past you, but
I'd let you throw the bucket on me this time.
You wouldn't have any choice. I should have thrown it on you last time.
Oh, look at these settings. Just
as picturesque as it gets.
You know, the reason why we come carp fishing, not only for the fish, but for the settings.
Yeah. So a bit of a peculiar interaction with the alarm just. I think it was probably a big liner, but I couldn't not hit it. It resembled a big fish bite, but when I lifted into it, there was nothing there. But either way, it's definitely confidence that there's fish out there and that they have moved into this bay on that wind throughout the day. So I'm just going to tie up a solid bag because I've not had a chance yet to bulk tie my bags. I will do tomorrow. I'm going to get this tied up back in the bait boat and over to the area that I've just had this from.
So we were just putting Liam's rod back out as he had either a big liner or a bit of interest, and whilst we was doing that, my right hand rod just ripped into action. So positive signs. Let's get this one on the bank and get that pressure off. That will do nicely, straight out of the blue.
That was a little bit of a crazy 5-minute spell there. I've had a peculiar pickup on my right hand rod. So I'm just about to redo that, and Pete's rod has burst into life. He's got a nice one sulking in the net. And whilst Pete was playing that, I had a little bit of a liner on my left hand rod as well, so with a bit of luck, the fish have well and truly moved in, and we might be in for a busy night.
So we had a little bit of a crazy 5 minutes then with alarms beeping and liners and then a run. So it's a blank saver, and it's definitely one for the future. I mean, it's got the frame to be what looks to be an absolute unit later on in life. But yeah, he's more than welcome for now. He's got me off the mark. First victim to the solid bag, the OG Fish Match Yachts Wafter with the RH Fisheries micro pellet. But yeah, just gonna slip him back now after we get a few photos and then get that rod back out with the bait boat. And hopefully his big brother comes along a bit later on. So the first one of the trip going back. Thank you very much. That's the calmest fish I've had for a while. He's literally just swaggered off into the lake, no cares in the world. Come on. So 7:30, we've got one fish on the bank, so it's a nice positive start. Those fish for me and Liam is what we call a rig checker, just so we know things are working. Just put the rod back out there in the boat, 18 wraps again in that area where I know there's already bait. So hopefully it can work its magic again. But yeah, for now, we're just going to put the camera away. We're going to enjoy the rest of the evening, watch the stars, have a little bit of a social, and hopefully we hear the alarms again. But if not, we'll catch you in the morning.
So Pete's just finished doing that nightly update, and now I'm off the mark as well. Unfortunately, it looks like we've got a shoal of stockies out in front of us, and this is another one of them that I fell victim to. Similar size to Pete's, I would say, but maybe even a little bit smaller. A low double. But again, like Pete said, it's a little rig checker. The right hand rod in that bit of a cove, the one that I had the funny little pickup on earlier, it's gone again. Really slow bite. The fish just swam towards me. Wasn't sure there was anything on. Probably why it's beating me up now on the mat. But that will be it for tonight now, unless it happens again. We'll see you in the morning.
Just before midnight, and we're off the mark again, this time with a fish we did come for. Same tactics, same rod, this time 36 pound. This is a unit, and it's took the pressure off me straight away. Oh yeah, this is the reason why we're on the bank, is to catch these quarters. To catch these sort of units. Another 30 to add to my tally this year. Can't complain with the run I'm on. But yeah, buzzing with this one. OG Fish Match the Hatch Wafter, RH Fisheries micro pellet, solid bag, right hand rod into the middle, 18 wraps out with a boat. Get in. Let's get the other side, get some photos and we'll get it back. Just want to say a big thanks to Liam for picking the side of the swim he did. But fingers crossed Liam gets off the mark next. But this has the potential to be a great session. Let's get some stills and get it back. Look at that, 36 pound, what an absolute unit. Get yourself back, mate, thank you very much. Oh, get in. Come on. Just had this another little stocky. Lovely little shape to him, but don't really fancy getting all wet and soggy again. So just going to slip him back now. Thank you nonetheless.
What do you reckon?
I mean, I don't find myself usually saying these kind of words, but could be another 30, this time a common.
Nice one for taking my rod out for me.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate that.
And within that battle, Liam's left hand rod got tuck in. And then, yeah, I managed to take one of his rods out of the water, so.
Cheers, mate.
We've got a lot to sort now.
$35.8 I've got that at.
Get in. What a result. So a little bit out of character for myself. However, I'm on to the second 30 of the session. This one, tipping the scales, £35.8. I don't know who I think I am these days. It's literally unlike me to be bagging these 30s. I've had a run of 30s this year. I've had a high 40. I will take it, and it's the first night. We're into the first morning of the session, really, the second day. So who knows what's going to happen, but it's looking positive. Again, the same spot, same tactics, same bait. So looks like I'm going to have to do the same again. And hopefully they keep on getting bigger and we can get another 40 on this series. Absolutely buzzing. 35 pound 8, common from the Sitch, getting. Here's the other side. Stunning carp. Over the moon with how this session's going so far. Literally got to keep these tactics the same from now on, I think, and deploy that bag back on that same spot. And hopefully, again, we can get some more. Get in. Right, let's get her back. I am on a roll. I'm excited to see what comes next. This no sleep malarkey though is more than welcome.
Right, so morning update time, and finally I'm into one of the better fish. I'm not saying it's Pete's standards yet, but it's definitely not one of those little stockies. It's not doing a great deal, really slowly plodding across the bottom. Not sure what time in the morning it is yet, but we've got daylight. We're about to get our first look at it. Just surfacing about 20 yards out. Whoa. You're gonna have to edit out the bit where I say it's definitely not one of the stockies, because it's definitely one of the stockies. So this one's got me looking like a wally a couple of times. I said when I was bringing it in that I think it's one of the better ones. When it went over the net, I said it was one of the stockies, but it turns out it was one of the better ones. Just not one of the ones that have grew to the sort of stamp that Pete's have. Definitely a 20 pound, this one. I'd say low 20s. So for me, they are getting bigger. And this one, to be fair, is down to Pete. Thanks to Pete, he has let me push across towards the spot that's produced these fish. We paid the favour from the Baden video. So yeah, thank you very much, Pete, and hopefully that rod's back out now, because we're not quite sure what the bite time's going to do here. Hopefully we can have another couple in the daytime. So chucked it on the scales quickly, just a few ounces shy of 24 pounds, so definitely a better stamp. Get in there. Morning brew time, innit?
Morning brew time.
I see I'm making them again.
Oh, what was that?
I see I'm making them again.
You're the brew connoisseur.
Proper cup of tea for Liam. Milky hot water for Pete. Disgusting guy. Mate, to tell you, might not even be a carp. It's a pike, I think. Don't you bite me. What a night. Pete's fine form has continued in this session. Oh, fair play to him. He really has turned it on these last few sessions.
Yeah, I mean, like I've already stated, it's unusual for me, but while it's happening, I'll take it. On the last session I fished a couple of 30s. And again, this session, we're on day 2 and I've already had a brace of 30s again. So, you know, it can happen to anyone, evidently. But yeah, great session so far. You had a pike this morning.
Yeah, little pike, little jack pike. We put a bit of footage in there now of that. But
yeah,
caught square in the mouth.
Absolutely nailed.
First time it's ever happened to me. But yeah, I think it's going to be reminiscent of the session earlier in the year when we fished the Mere. It's going to be predominantly nighttime bites, which it's a nice problem to have, but it makes you very, very tired.
Yeah,
so,
the sleep last night, maybe 2-3 hours on and off.
If that, yeah, it wasn't great. But with all the action last night, the bait boat battery is running pretty low, but they've kindly said down at Monument that we can take the bait boat battery down there, charge it up for a few hours, which will give us a chance to get back here and run you through.
Run you through some of those rigs that I've been catching those 30s on. Nice simple tactics, however, slightly different to what we usually do with a new product from Gemini Carp Tackle. And on our little excursion to the RH Fisheries complex, we are going to try and find a little bit of a scran on the way, a calf or a shop.
I'll find a dirty little greasy calf.
Oh, yes.
Nice little sandwich.
But yeah, we'll catch up with you shortly.
Yep.
So I'm going to take this time now just to talk about the rig that's been catching me all these fish this session, including those 230s. It's actually a new component from Gemini Carp Tackle, and it's the Tidy Stem Quick Flex Swivel. And I'm going to talk to you about it whilst I'm tying this solid bag. So first of all, just simply tie up your selected solid bag rig. Today I've opted for a rig just over 3 inches into a simple hair rig setup. Firstly, attaching your rig to the Tidy Stem couldn't be any easier. Before attaching your rig to the Tidy Stem, you will need to slide on a neoprene connector. Once that's complete, slide the neoprene connector down to secure the rig in place. I've opted for a 3-ounce Gemini lead, and today I'm using the 5.75mm Tidy Stem, which fits snug and it will eject if needed. Moving on to the Quick Flex Swivel, the spring quick change clip is free to rotate on the other swivel, delivering increased levels of movement, in turn ensuring the rig will be presented correctly on the lake bed. Then attach my bait of choice before I drop my rig into the solid bag. Once my rig is in the solid bag, I push my bait and hook to the bottom, and I fill it halfway with pellets to lock it in. At this point, I compress the pellets down with the lead, creating a more compact bag. I continue to fill the bag, leaving enough space at the top to be able to twist and tie my bag. Now to complete my solid bag, I just push in the corners, give them a little bit of lick and a stick, just to ensure the bag is more streamlined. But that's enough of how to and the rig that's done with the fish. We are going to head back to the RH Fisheries now to pick up the bait boat batteries and get our rods back out in the lake. The wind's pushing in here again. I'm feeling very confident, and I'm sure there's plenty more fish to come.
So going into evening 2 now, just loading the boat up. Ready to go out with a solid bag like Pete showed you earlier. I'm doing pretty much the exact same thing. Hopefully I'll get the exact same results that Pete's got so far. So the first bait of the evening is out. Solid bag onto that spot. Unfortunately, the heavens started to open whilst I was halfway across the water, but I've got the bag covered with plenty of pellets, so I think it'll be fine.
So earlier on, whilst Liam was getting his first rod out, the Evans opened and it's been going about 90 minutes non-stop. It is starting to ease up now, which is a good sign. We took refuge in the bivvies. Didn't waste any time though. I tied up 6 solid bags ready for tonight, hoping we get some action like we did last night. I was opting to change to a boom today, possibly, but how well the bag's been working, I'm going to stick on those for tonight, and I may change it up tomorrow. But yeah, it's starting to break now. Hopefully about another 10-15 minutes the rain should stop, which gives us a window to get those 2 rods out for the evening until tomorrow. And I won't be moving those rigs till tomorrow afternoon about 2 o'clock, or unless I get a fish. So fingers crossed we can get amongst some and maybe some more chunks. Any chance of you coming out that bivvy and getting some fish?
Well, I can't beat you on the fish front at the minute. But you said you've tied 6 solid bags up whilst it's been raining. I'm just finishing my 7th, so who's the real winner? 1, 2, 3. Oh shit, I've only got 5. Well, I knew I hadn't done 7, I thought I'd done 6. Oh, that's disappointing. I thought I'd done 6.
So you cheated. You're lazy.
Well, now I'm gonna have to now do a 6th, and we'll have to get our rods out in the dark. Oh mate, that's beautiful out there now. Look at that. Oh, you are looking at it. Fair enough. Right then, so this one going out now is on the same tactics, rig-wise, solid bag. The only difference is bait and approach. I'm going just boilie on this one, just a simply red 18mm boilie. I'm going to try and pick off the bigger fish if I can. Go quite heavy on the boilie and no pellet, and we'll see if that can put this 40-pounder on the bank for me. So this one's going out to that little cove on the bank on the opposite side where I had that little stocky from last night and a couple of strange occurrences on the alarms. I've decided I'm going to persevere with that spot. It did see a bit of action last night.
So that's both rods now wrapped up to 18 wraps to the alley where we believe the fish have been patrolling in and out. It paid off yesterday, so let's hope they take the same route tonight.
Peter's on fire, the fishes are terrified, Peter's on fire. The fish are terrified, Peter's on fire. Do. Na 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 na. I think so. So, expectation levels going into night number 2. What are you saying?
Quite high, I reckon.
Quite high?
I reckon a couple of fish, at least.
I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably around a 5 or 6. I don't know if this rain might disturb it a little bit for us.
What, 5 or 6 that we're going to get one fish, or?
Yeah, that we'll catch.
Oh, 9 out of 10 we're going to get a fish.
You think?
Yeah.
When it rained earlier to begin with, when we had the really heavy stuff earlier, it brought the wind with it and it was really howling into here. Sort of waves and all sorts, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super confident. I mean, you know, Could wake up tomorrow without a fish, but at this moment in time I am super confident that rod's going to go off before 11 o'clock.
Well, we're on spots, 3 spots that have produced fish now. Fits. So 3 out of the 4. Oh, you got me now. I've turned into a rapper today. And I know the title of this film is Back to Bags and Booms, and so far it's just been back to bags, but it's been producing, so it's been really difficult for us to move away from the solid bags, but we will tomorrow, regardless of what happens tonight. We'll both put a combi rig on using the Gemini combi boom, and we will show you how we will approach a water like this using those rigs.
Like I said, Evans have opened again, so the camera's going to go into the BV. We're going to get our waterproofs on and we're going to watch this water, and hopefully we'll see a bit of movement on our spots.
Alright then, so Pete's just had a bit of a pick up on his. He was just about to put that back out, and my right hand rod has just absolutely stormed into life. I don't think it's particularly big again, but that cove over on the far margin that did the fish last night, and a couple of little bleeps here and there, is what's done the business again early doors tonight. So Pete was right in his estimation. He was definitely going to get at least one. Oh. Oh. 24 4-ish. An earlier start to proceedings tonight. We've only just fully lost the light and the night has already began. The right hand rod, this one, the solid bag over on the far margin in that cove, it's really trying to beat me up. My first common. It's got a really peculiar scale pattern on this side, really twisted scales and a little bit of damage, but we've got some propolis, so I'll sort that out before we slip it back. Not going to mess about too much because it really is eager to get back. One last time. What a start to the evening. So I'm just going to dry it off with a dry towel. Just add a bit of water to it and that'll just form a barrier over the wound, stop any sort of infection, keep the fish fighting fit for the next person that catches it. Let's get it back. Thank you very much. Great start to the night. Come on. So, I was right to be confident earlier. Me and Liam are both off the mark within about an hour and a half of saying it. Early doors on the second night, there's definitely plenty more fish to come. Super confident we're going to bag some more. This one fell to the same spot and the same tactic as the other fish, but not going to take too long with this one. I'm going to slip him back because I do believe that spot is going to produce some more fish tonight. Whew. Get in, what a session, come on. So I'm just going to loop my bag on, nice and simple, and it's ready to go again. So not as eventful night as we was hoping. No. Got a good sleep, which I'm not disappointed about, but we certainly had more rain last night than the weatherman forecast, and that's only going to bring that water temperature down a little bit as well. So I think there's a few factors involved. We did absolutely nothing different to what we did the night before, which was so successful. So I don't think it was solely down to us, but plan of attack for today, I think I'm just going to leave my rods as they are, not move them until tonight, so that they've had a full 24 hours in the water. What about you? I'm going to change to a boom today as well because things have slowed down. I think we might need to change it up, so yeah, we'll incorporate that this afternoon.
But for now, I'm just going to enjoy this cup of tea with yourself.
Yep.
Get the chocolate digestives out.
Tea and biscuit breakfast.
Yes, indeed.
I've got some Caramac. Oh no, they're white chocolate digestives.
White chocolate digestives or chocolate digestives?
Ooh, that'll split some opinions, that will.
Oh, I mean, I think chocolate digestives have got to go with your tea.
I probably am with you. Probably it's chocolate digestives.
But if there is any white chocolate digestive crew out there, let us know below.
I think we're up against it today. That wind is slowly trickling back into here though, so with a bit of luck, I'll be wrong. We might be able to catch a few more fish.
So bizarre.
I don't know how that's happened.
So this is the second pike caught today. Literally just had a pike earlier on. I've just put the bait boat back out again on the same spot, similar area. And I've released the bait boat. Liam's got the rod in his hand. And then he said to me he thinks the rig is still in the bait boat because it's pulling tight. So I started driving the bait boat across the lake saying, is it still pulling? He was like, yeah. So I was like, oh, thinking the bait was still in the bait boat because it hadn't dropped. But then the line started going across the lake and then Liam was like, I think you got another pike on. And literally, as soon as I've dropped the bait from the bait boat, he must have caught it on the way down or instantly struck it at the bottom. Got another pike.
There's a little pike in the net now with a 20mm Simply Red wafter. Well, hard hooker, sorry. Sticking out the side of its mouth, square in the mouth.
Oh, I mean, right, let's get this one back out. And then...
These pike are carp, disguised as pike,
Literally,
I think,
we've had 3 pike now and they've all been nailed in the bottom lip as if they're eating the bait. Whether they're attacking the little fish eating the pellets or they are eating the bait, I don't know, but they are getting nailed every single time. Let's
get this one unhooked. Get the rod back out. So whilst we sat behind motionless rods, I'm going to fulfil the promise that we gave you yesterday and talk you through the Combi rig, which is what we're going to be putting out tonight to try and recreate some of that magic that we had on the first night. So the main reason you'd fish with a Combi rig using the Gemini tidy booms is basically versatility. The Combi rig offers you a multitude of ways to present a hook bait and different hook baits, i.e. wafters, bottom baits or pop-ups. In our case, on this session, we're fishing quite a silty water, so I think it's going to be little small pop-ups that we use on the Combi rigs this time out. Each of the booms is produced using a 30-pound fluorocarbon material. On one end, there's a fused loop, and on the other end, there's a fused O-ring. They use a unique fluorocarbon fuse bond technology, which eliminates any of the issues that you might get whilst tying knots with braid, and also it is stronger than any conventional knot that you can tie. They use a material that has a light refractive index of just 1.42, which is very similar to that of water, meaning that once it's on the lake bed, it's near enough invisible to the fish. And the last bit of information I'll give you on the booms, and this goes for any of the booms in the range, they come in 3 different lengths. You've got a 5.5 inch, a 7 inch or a 9 inch boom. On this session, as mentioned earlier, it's a silty water, so I'm going to be using the 9 inch boom. I'm going to run you through now how I'm going to be tying and deploying that into the lake. There are multiple ways of tying up the Combi rig, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to be approaching this session with it. First things first, you just need to tie up a really simple hair rig of about 2 to 3 inches in length. On this occasion, I'm using the wide gate beak hook from the Gemini range. And then just tie your loop on the other end. This is what's going to pass through the tidy boom itself. So pass the looped end of the hair rig through the ring on the boom, bring it back round, and then the hook and everything else is going to go through the looped end on the rig as well. Very similar to a solid bag using the tidy stems. And then simply pull that tight. And now the braided section of the rig and the boom section are fixed into place. And then take your bait of choice. This time I'm going for the OG Fish 12mm Match the Hatch pop-up. And the last part of the process, particularly when you're using a pop-up, is just to add a little bit of tungsten putty around the fused part of the boom. This is just going to balance out the rig so that the pop-up can sit proud off the lake bed.
So we're on to day 3, it's 3 p.m. The action's well and truly slowed down for us. So I think it's permissible to make a change to the rigs. Didn't want to make a change too early on as the solid bags was doing so well, but I think it's time to. The rig I'm changing to is similar to Liam's, however down the business end I made a small change. I've attached my bait with a micro ring swivel, melted on with a bit of bait floss so it's really secured on there. But this is going to get sent out in the bait boat with a lot of free offerings, just like the rest of the baits I've been sending out. I have 18 wraps on the spot. And hopefully with this pop-up rig, it's going to sit above, proud, all the rest of the free offerings, and hopefully it's what Mr. Carp takes first.
Sat here on the last evening, just looking over the water, seeing if we could spot anything. I'd give you a little bit of an evening update. What the f***? Nah, mate, my rod tip was bent. There's absolutely no way that was not a take. No way.
Solid bag?
Yeah, literally just gone out. I was literally just about to do a piece to camera to tell you that I've had to move one of the rods because I had a liner on my left-hand rod which was over on the tree line, and it ended up, I've brought it in and I'd got a trailer on the end of it. So as I was redoing the bag to put it back out down my right-hand side, I saw a fish show, and it's the second night in a row a fish has shown down there now. So the Carpy gods was obviously telling me something. I've put it down there, just sat down to do an update to let you know, and it's pulled up tight, rod tip bending over. Unfortunately, I've lifted into it and there was absolutely nothing there, so didn't look like a liner, but maybe it was just a really savage liner. Either way, gonna get it redone now, back out there. Hopefully it'll go again. So I've just got that rod back out after that funny take, I suppose we can call it, a moment ago. And I'm just gonna take this moment now before hopefully the nighttime carnage begins to tell you a little bit more about the venue that we fish in this session. The Sitch is a syndicate lake, but they do have one peg on site which is bookable to the public, which is the peg that we're in now, known as the Holiday Swim. It's a 26-acre lake. RH took it over in 2010 when they stocked it with fish between 8 and 10 pound. Fast forward to 2024 and you've now got a lake that's got 650 fish in total, 130 of which are over the 30 pound barrier and at least 25 over the magical 40 pound barrier. It's a shallow lake with a silty bottom. There are some hard areas out there, but I wouldn't worry too much because we've proved this session that they do like to feed in that silt. It's absolutely beautiful water. It's tree lined, mature. So if you like big fish, stunning surroundings, get yourself over to the website, book up onto the Holiday Swim.
So we've been sitting patiently this evening. Still quite early on, about 8:30. Usually the same kind of bite time we've been having all week. Left hand rod, the Combi, and hopefully it's the start of that nighttime chaos. Literally just landed this fish and it's another special one. We can't really see how big it is at the moment, but it's definitely a 30. So get in the Combi rig. Glad I made that change. Take a look at this. Oh, I don't think it's 40, mate.
Do you know? It's a big 30.
Definitely a 30. unit nonetheless.
33.10.
33.10, oh wow. That's quite surprising. Literally felt a lot bigger than that,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
It's once you lift it.
So the little change I made earlier to the Combi boom to try and spice things up has well and truly paid off. Another £30. That's the third 30 this session. I am over the moon. This is the first ever session that I've caught 3 30s in one go. So little 12mm Parker Baits OG fish pop up on the Combi rig using that Gemini Combi boom. Absolutely buzzing. 3 30s, third 30 this session. What a year, what a session. Here's the other side to this absolute missile. Get in, what a shape. This is the first time the left rod has done me any fish, and what a fish it has. We'll get some stills of this now and we'll get it back. Peter's on fire. Oh, get in. Can't believe I'm having a session like this. I've never had one like it. I'm absolutely buzzing. Another 30, slipping it back. Oh, such a stunning fish. Look at that dorsal. He's very angry. Don't worry, mate. You're back.
Well done, bro.
Seen some action this year, that has.
Peter's on fire.
Big up
All
the Carp
fish
tackle.
are terrified and Peter's on fire. No, no, no.
Just been in the bivvy now for the last 10 minutes, knocking up the exact same rig that's just caught me that last fish. Sent out and I was quite confident with it. I was really hoping this one would go off. Gonna wrap it up, get it back out there, and fingers crossed we can get another one. Lead clip system, 9-inch Combi boom, all the way down to a 12mm Parker Baits OG fish pop-up. So it's the third and final morning of the trip. I'm just currently sat behind some motionless rods, taking in the lovely sunrise that's happening just behind me. Like we've said it many times on this trip, but the venue and the location is stunning, and you can totally understand why it's called the Holiday Swim. We're probably going to give it another 3 or 4 hours now, start having a pack down shortly, but we're going to leave the rods in. It's been an amazing session. It's been one of my favourites and one of my best, so literally I can't complain. Catching fish on a lake like this, you know, we'll definitely be back. But I'm just going to sit here now, probably get a brew on, wait for Liam to wake up, and then we'll just enjoy that last morning. Here he is, Sleeping Beauty.
Morning.
Sleep well?
Not too bad. Woke up by that silly little fish that tried to kill me with my own lead. But yeah, good sleep apart from that, which is what I didn't want on the last night of the session, to be honest. Nothing quite like a early morning brew. Start the day as you mean to go on. Unfortunately, I always seem to be the tea maker in this group. So I think by time now he's drawing to a close on the final morning. A little bit disappointed, if I'm honest, with what I've caught. I was hoping I could have put one of the bigger ones on the bank. I mean, Pete's made it look really easy, but it's not an easy water at all. It's quite tricky. So to come and get 3 fish, I shouldn't be disappointed, but I am a little bit. The venue itself's absolutely stunning. I've just got really unlucky. But yeah, I think we're going to have a really slow pack down now. Last few hours of the session. Hopefully our luck can change during the day and we can put another one on the bank. But if not, we'll plan for the next one. That brings the 7th episode of the series to a close. What a session it's been, what a venue. We've really enjoyed it and we can't wait to get back down here at some point in the not too distant future.
Oh yeah, for sure. but the van is fully loaded now and we're going to head off home. So yeah, if you are liking the content, guys, make sure you like and subscribe and follow the journey.
Thank you very much.
Little sausage. Little sausage.
Every time you do it because it annoys you.
Sausage.